Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Going to be giving you my player ratings from our 3-1 win against Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So Dean Henderson, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Dean Henderson made some good saves in the game to deny Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. I thought his distribution was good and he made some good aerial claims. Dean Henderson couldn't do anything about Heung-min Son's goal. I reckon now that Dean Henderson is our number one. I said anyway, Dean Henderson is now reliable enough to become our number one because he has got that experience behind him. Prior to the game against Granada, Dean Henderson was in goal for 7 games in a row. So 7 out of 10 for him. And Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he showed some good attacking intent. Defensively, he was good. But his deliveries were quite poor. So that's the only thing that let him down. But Wan-Bissaka is flourishing as a Manchester United player. This is his second full season. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. Victor Lindelof, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Lindelof was accountable for Tottenham's first goal because Victor Lindelof should have cleared it, but prior to that I thought he was very good. He was solid defensively, got forward well. And made some good clearances. Lindelof has had some good games at Manchester United, but he's also had a lot of bad games. I've still got my concerns about him. Lindelof's been at the club since 2017. We got him in a deal worth £31 million from Benfica. Harry Maguire, I'm also going to give him a 7 out of 10. Defensively, I thought Maguire was good. He made some good interceptions and he got forward quite well. Harry Maguire has enjoyed quite a lot of good games at Man United, but he's also enjoyed bad games as well. We did overpay for him because we got him for £80 million. He's the second most expensive signing and he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. Luke Shaw, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. That's reflecting on his second half performance because I thought he was quite poor in the first half. But in the second half, Luke Shaw provided width. He got forward quite well. He got into some very good crossing positions, and defensively he was quite good. He did get caught out though a few times. Luke Shaw's been our player of the season, and I think he's had a good career at Manchester United apart from his injuries. He still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Telles last summer. Shaw has been at the club over 6 years. Fred, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10, reflecting on his second half performance. I've got to say, Fred was woeful in the first half. Obviously, struggled to keep the ball, gave the ball away a lot in that first half. But in the second half, his passing improved. He got forward more. Fred obviously scored our equalising goal. We did overpay for Fred. We got him in a deal worth £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. Fred's enjoyed quite a lot of good games at Man United, but he's also enjoyed poor games as well. His worst game in a Manchester United shirt was the 3-1 defeat to Leicester, because he gave the ball away countless times in that game and he was accountable for Leicester's first goal. But 8 out of 10, like I said, reflecting on his second half performance. Scott McTominay, I don't really know. I'm going to give Scott McTominay a 6 out of 10. He wasn't brilliant, but he also wasn't poor. So, yeah, pretty average performance. I thought McTominay broke up the play well a few times. Got forward well at times as well. He had a chance in the game from long range that produced a good save from Hugo Lloris. McTominay is a decent player, but he's not on that level where we want him to be at yet. But he's still young, he's got a lot of development in him. Just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with the club. McTominay's best game, I think, this season was a 6-2 win against Leeds. Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. He was quiet for the vast majority of the game. But Bruno Fernandes did have a shot from long range that produced a good save from Hugo Lloris. So just a 5 out of 10 for him. There's been a few games where Bruno Fernandes has looked off the pace. But in a lot of his games at Man United, he's been very consistent. I reckon that we've overplayed Bruno Fernandes. But yeah, Fernandes is our best player and is the best signing we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. He has been at the club now over a year. Fernandes did say on his 12-month anniversary that he's planning on spending many years at Man United. He's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances, and Fernandes did deny that he needed a rest earlier on this season because he said he came to Manchester to win trophies. We initially paid 47 million, but the overall cost with add-ons is just over 67 million pounds. Fernandes is under contract with the club till 2025. There is an option to extend his contract for a further 12 months. Paul Pogba, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. Paul Pogba was superb. He set himself free a lot. Paul Pogba was playing in more of an advanced role. I think he's more effective in an advanced role. I'm not too keen on him in a deeper role. Paul Pogba obviously got the assist for Mason Greenwood's goal and could have had a goal himself. Couldn't he? I'd like Paul Pogba to stay at Manchester United potentially past the summer because he brings creativity to the team. You know, without Paul Pogba, we lack creativity and we are far too defensive. Now, it said recently that Man United could offer Paul Pogba a new contract. Solskjaer said earlier on this season he's hopeful that Paul Pogba will sign a new contract, and he revealed that we had been in contract negotiations with him. Now, earlier on this season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract with Man United until June 2022. If he stays potentially past the summer, there's a good chance he'll leave on a free next year unless we get him a new contract. Solskjaer said earlier on this season that Paul Pogba's future lies at Manchester United. and it recently said our players would be devastated if the club decided to sell Paul Pogba in the summer transfer window. He's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid 89 million for him, and this is his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. Pogba's won 3 trophies at the club so far. That's the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. We had him when he was a lot younger under Ferguson, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. He has had a long-running transfer saga though. Barcelona are back in for him. He did recently mention the 4 Barcelona players that we could accept in a Pogba swap deal. Madrid have been relentlessly linked with him. There's been a lot of narratives of him possibly going back to Juventus. I said there's a good chance he'll go back to Juventus because he did endure 4 good years with them before he rejoined Man United, and Juventus have been keen on a Paul Pogba swap deal, and PSG have also been in for him. Now earlier on this season, Pogba had a thigh injury. He was out with that thigh injury for a while, so he was a big miss. The first part of this season he had an ankle injury, and he was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury, so sustained a few injuries now at Man United. Mino Raiola has been desperate to get his client out of the club. He was doing a lot of talking earlier on this season, saying that he doesn't give a fuck if he doesn't take another player to Man United as long as his clients are happy. He criticised Sir Alex Ferguson for forcing Pogba out of the club when he was a lot younger. I presume all United fans would have disagreed with him criticising Ferguson. But he did say earlier on this season that he's got no intentions of destabilising his client's season, and he made an admission saying that he's working quietly on Paul Pogba's transfer to avoid offence. And he made an announcement back in December regarding Pogba, and all he was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for Paul Pogba. Marcus Rashford, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He looked hesitant on a couple of occasions. Got dispossessed a few times. Marcus Rashford was obviously playing, was it on that left-hand side? He wasn't 100% fit. Solskjaer did actually confirm that prior to the game. He's come injury prone, Rashford, at Man United, because he has sustained quite a few injuries now. Edison Cavani, he's going to get a 9 out of 10. Edison Cavani obviously had a goal disallowed by VAR. I totally disagreed with the goal getting disallowed. I think the goal should have stood. It was a good finish by Edison Cavani. Paul Pogba played a part in that. VAR disallowed the goal because Scott McTominay's hand had hit Heung-min-son's face, but I can assure it wasn't intentional. It was totally accidental from McTominay, so definitely the goal should have stood. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is furious why that goal didn't stand, and Solskjaer slams Heung-min-son over the disallowed goal, and Jose Mourinho has hit back at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's comments regarding Heung-min-son. Edison Cavani played a part in Fred's goal because he had the shot, was saved from Lloris, and Fred got the rebound. Edison Cavani scored our second goal. It was absolutely fantastic. What a diving header that was from Edison Cavani, and it was a great cross by Mason Greenwood. Really good cross by Mason Greenwood. So I think Edison Cavani got man of the match. We brought some substitutions on in the game. We saw Mason Greenwood come on. He's going to get a 8 out of 10. Mason Greenwood obviously got the assist for Edison Cavani's second, and he scored our third goal in injury time. Mason Greenwood also made some very, very good runs, and he was causing problems. Mason Greenwood's been exceptional since he broke into our first team squad. You know, Mason Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019. You know, he's been a United player since the age of 7, and earlier on this season, Mason Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. Ollie's been defending him a lot this season. And the other substitution we brought on was Nemanja Matic, and I'll give him a 6 out of 10. So that is your player ratings from our 3-1 win against Tottenham. It's a very, very good win for Manchester United. I think it now secures us a second place finish. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has beaten Jose Mourinho for the second time as Manchester United manager. It wasn't a great performance by Man United in the first half, but I thought in the second half we was much better. We are now unbeaten in our last 23 Premier League away games. From a Tottenham perspective, they'll be very disappointed, because obviously Tottenham were winning the game. You know, we came from behind to win. I don't think Tottenham are going to finish in the top 4 this season. I'm expecting Tottenham to sack Jose Mourinho at some point. It'd be the right decision from Tottenham to sack him, because Jose Mourinho has passed his sell-by date. You know, he has got a good pedigree behind him. He's won around 20 odd major honours in his managerial career. You know, Mourinho's been Tottenham manager over a year, and he's got a contract with them until 2023. Tottenham made a bad mistake by getting rid of Mauricio Pochettino. He was a good manager for Tottenham despite him not winning anything with them. Pochettino endured 5.5 years with Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his tenure, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. In 2019, Pochettino guided Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. There were some good performers though for Tottenham today, I thought. I thought Harry Kane looked a threat, but he can play better than that. But he still did quite well. Like I mentioned, had a good chance in the game, produced a good save from Henderson. Son, he looked a threat. Scored the goal and also had a good chance, so could have had 2 goals. Lucas Moura looked quite dangerous. I thought Eric Dyer had a very, very good game for Tottenham. Made some good interceptions. Defensively, he was very good. I thought Sergio Reguilon had a very good game for Tottenham. He showed good attacking intent, provided width for them. Defensively, he was good. We didn't trouble Tottenham's back 4 in that first half, so it was comfortable for Reguilon, Aurier, Eric Dyer and Joe Rodon. You know, today, Jose Mourinho was reuniting with Manchester United. Don't forget we had Jose Mourinho for 2.5 years. When he was with us, he won the Europa League, the League Cup, and the Community Shield, and he also got a second, I think, which was in his first season. So you can say Mourinho enjoyed one good season with Man United, but wasn't good in his second season. The reasons it didn't work out when we had Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players, and the board weren't backing the signings that he wanted to recommend in. Jose Mourinho did say prior to the game that he'd hit back at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for Solskjaer saying that winning trophies is an ego thing. Solskjaer actually said that last month. But it's good to get revenge on Tottenham, because they thrashed us 6-1 at Old Trafford towards the start of this season. I think that was the first time we'd lost 6-1 since the 6-1 defeat to Man City back in 2011. It was a draw at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last season. It was 1-1. And we're beating them at Old Trafford last season 2-1. The best games we've had against Tottenham that I recall was the 5-2 win against them back in 2009 when we overcame a 2-goal deficit, and the 5-3 game back in 2001, I think it was, when we overcame a 3-goal deficit. The only players we have got missing is Anthony Martial. He's going to be out for the remainder of this season. Solskjaer confirmed that not so long ago because he sustained an injury whilst he was on international duty with France. Phil Jones is still out, but he doesn't get in R11 anyway. And Eric Bailly, he's out with COVID. Tottenham, they only had 2 injuries today. Ben Davies is obviously injured and Matt Doherty is injured. Now, our next game is Granada in the Europa League quarter-final second leg at Old Trafford. We're more or less now into the Europa League semi-final. That will be 5 semi-finals under Ole, which is very good. We beat Granada in the first leg 2-0. So that's 2 away goals and it was a clean sheet. It was a pretty good performance by Man United in the first leg. Obviously, goals came from Marcus Rashford. He'd scored the first. It was a lovely touch from Rashford and a lovely finish from Rashford. And it was a lovely long ball by Victor Lindelof. And the second goal came from Bruno Fernandes from the penalty spot towards the end of the game. From a Granada perspective, they'd have been very, very disappointed because they showed very little going forward in the first leg. Like I mentioned, their best player in the first leg was Kennedy. He had a few long-range shots, but it was comfortable for De Gea. Their best chance of the first leg was for Moreira when he hit the post. The disappointing thing is that Luke Shaw, Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire are all suspended for the second leg. Granada I wouldn't say Granada are a poor team, but I don't think they're exactly great, the current manager is Diego Martinez, is it? When we played them in the first leg, they were sitting like 9th in La Liga. They've got some good players, obviously Soldado's very good for Granada. He's their joint top goal scorer. Soldado is a former Tottenham player as well. That Luis Suarez, he's quite good for them. George Molina, he's quite good. I think he's their joint top goal scorer. And that Yan Herrera is quite good. They've got some injuries still of Granada. Obviously, Lozano's out, Miller's out, Soro's out. I think they've got a couple of players suspended. Our next league game is Burnley, and Manchester United should be winning that. But the Europa League is a priority for Manchester United, and Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. The Europa is our only chance of any silverware this season. If we fail to win the Europa League, we know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not going to be sacked. So I can assure he'll be Man United manager in the summer transfer window. And he'll be Man United manager next season. Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at the club because he has made progress in certain aspects. We know that obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has agreed a new 3-year contract worth 30 million. A lot of United fans have been demanding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out, but obviously they've got main explanations behind it. But there's obviously quite a lot of United fans that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in and believe he needs more time at the football club. I've already told you my two biggest concerns about Ole. That's his decision making. Because in a lot of his games at Man United, he's been tactically naive, but there's also been quite a lot of games where he's showed tactical flexibility, but he's got to show it persistently. And the other concern about Ole, he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. But I've got to say, he's our best manager since Ferguson. He really, really is. And he's our fourth permanent manager since Ferguson. We've got to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a lot of credit in quite a lot of aspects. You know, he has made good signings since he became Manchester United manager. You know, he's got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. I like the way he's promoted the youth. He did well last season in his first full season at the club. Got us to 3 semi-finals, got us a third place finish and got us qualification for the Champions League. You know, this season, which is his second full season, got us to the EFL Cup semi-final, got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. You know, we're more or less into the Europa League semi-final. You know, went on a 14-game unbeaten run before the 3-1 defeat to Leicester in the FA Cup quarter-final. And we've had good periods under Ole where we have seen consistency. But he has been Manchester United manager now over 2 years. So reflecting now on his being at the club, he's gained some managerial experience in that, and he's tried quite a few different elements. This year's summer transfer window is huge for Man United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, reports said not so long ago that Man United will spend big in the summer transfer window. But Solskjaer said he wants to keep transfer dealings quiet. I've already identified the areas where we need to strengthen up. I think we need around 3 or 4 signings in the summer, and I'm expecting us to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window. All he did warn earlier on this season that we may not do business as usual due to the pandemic. But Solskjaer should get the backing he deserves in the summer transfer window, because obviously Woodward's standing by him. We've got John Murtafy's our director of football. And we made the right decision getting a director of football in him. We've got Darren Fletcher, who's our technical director. But despite us beating Tottenham today 3-1, I still do not think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the long-term manager for Man United. But I hope I'm proven wrong. I think Solskjaer has lasted as long as he has done with him being a club legend, and reflecting on that, our board have a soft stance on him. I'd say disregarding being a club legend, he probably wouldn't have been here now, because we have enjoyed very bad periods under Ollie where you can turn around and say, yeah, he was lucky not to be sacked. But whether things work out under Ollie or not, we'll still always adore him, because, you know, he's a club legend, like I've already mentioned. He enjoyed 11 years as a player for Man United, and he flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. But yeah, like I say, in the summer transfer window, we're going to focus on the incomings and the outgoings. I think we're going to get rid of quite a few players in the summer transfer window. It looks like Cavani's going to go, but a lot of United fans would like Cavani to stay for next season. Solskjaer'd like him to stay for next season, but prior to the game against Tottenham, he said that he's unsure over Cavani's future. Martial, I think we should get rid of him. Juan Mata, get rid of him. Donny van de Beek, get rid of him because he's not getting enough opportunities. Matic, get rid of him because he's not one of our first choice midfielders. Phil Jones, get rid of him because he doesn't get in our team. Tuanzebe, get rid of him because he doesn't also get in our team. And De Gea, I think we should get rid of him because I reckon now he's had his years at Manchester United. And Alex Telles, should we get rid of him because he isn't getting enough opportunities. So anyway guys, there'll be more videos coming up tomorrow. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.